Namaste! Namaste, Divine Feminine. Come in. Come on, I've got intel. Welcome or welcome back to Frequency Phoenix 555 for your message or messages. Yes, Divine Feminine, I had to what? Turn around and come back and touch on you again. Why? An epiphany went off in my hemisphere. Please come in, get your popcorn, get your mochas. I'm already 2 mochas deep and I can't trust myself with a 3rd cup. Not at this stage of the game, cause there's no one to check me boo. Come in, big cat. Fist bump. Let's see who's in the chat. Miss Brown, Chef Brown. And Mishka, I think, and Keshi Washington, Nicole Neffy, Fist Bump, Darrow, Mackenzie, Pinkies Up, Chrissy, oh yeah, and Awkward Butterfly. Too blessed to be stressed. Classy you be, darling dear. Only awkward around the bottom feeder because they itch your skin like cribichos. Yes. Big cat, I come to you today with a bit of a bittersweet. I don't know, can we dive in for a quick tete-a-tete? Do you mind? A quick chat? I told you yesterday that I got dressed because I had to make a 1-2 step, right? I knew one of the things that I had to do. The second thing hadn't what? Turned up while we was talking yesterday. Not too long after I finished the live, I got a call from one of my nieces to tell me that my youngest sister had died. She's passed on. God rest her soul. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, but forgive our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, my throat chakra, is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Big cat, as I said, it was bittersweet. Why? I had divorced myself from that family 8 years ago because of the heinous perpetrations against me when I didn't know who I was. I'd moved on from the situation because of wickedness brought about by same said person and a number of individuals. I come to you and I speak the truth, Rolf. If I didn't live it, I couldn't talk to you about it. And the reason why I speak on it, because many big cats are going to be going through similar passings in their hemisphere. And you're going to wonder, shall I go back into the lion's den? Of course you must, big cat. Why? Because you're Daniel. You have to go for the closure. I had to go because there was one in particular, the most evilest of them all, one of my older sisters, who is what? A malignant narcissist, a drunkard, a back front neck tabber, a jelly bogelly, a liar, full-on airbender, all of the above. I had to go in because I had to dip up under her blood clot one last time. Yes, I did. I rounded up the troops. Only one of them was at home with me, my one son, and I got into my chariot of righteousness and I headed south. That is significant for someone. You need to be heading south or wants to be heading south. Well, whilst I was driving, I prayed that Father God would bind my tongue. Father God would give me the what? The full-on respond, don't react. But because of this one particular individual's wickedness and the fact that my mother has Alzheimer's and dementia, she prevented me from seeing her, called the police when I came to the house to see my mother on many occasions. For what? Out of wickedness and to take over my mother's home. Yes, her son and my youngest brother got my mother to sign over a home worth £2.1 million. Yes, had her sleeping on a sofa with all sorts of illnesses undiagnosed of her Alzheimer's and dementia because they needed her to sign on the dotted line. How I know? I went in as recon, darling dear. I went in on my mother's 80th birthday in 2018. I went in recon. I worked as a friend as much as I could, and I worked as a spy. I did. I took her to see her GP so that I could understand what was going on in her medicals, because everything was silent. Everybody was saying nothing, running round in circles. So I, the professor of the puzzle, had to get to the bottom of shit. Hold on a minute. I think I'm going to need it. Karma, send in the mocha. Come at a hot trot. Are you invested now, big cat? Give me a cat if you're invested, because I can push on with the read.
Do you have a cup?
No, I don't have one, darling dear. Please get one for me. Thank you. And don't fill it to the brim, because you've got shaky hands. Right. Anyhow, we've got the cats. I will press on. I knew her medical records. Me, one of my other sisters, and two of my other sisters and one of my brothers. I'm one of 8. We got those medical records. We understood the home and everything was signed over to these people, and that she was taken out of her home, right, and was sleeping on the sofa at another sister's house, the same one that passed. The tea gets hotter. It's going to turn into mocha. Stay with me, Scotty. So, what happened after that? I got in my chariot of righteousness, darling dear, and I prayed for Father God to keep my tongue, because I had to get in there and get out, right? When I got to the domicile and the doorway was opened, I walked right in. I didn't even see who was there, right? I had on my darkest glass, by the way. All I saw was my mother, who I have not seen or touched since 2018 due to the wickedness and the greed that was being perpetrated. We were blocked from seeing her. We didn't know what happened to her. My youngest daughter asked me on my son's birthday, is grandma still alive? I didn't know. We went there and they refused to open the door. Nothing I did to my mother other than love her and protect her. But they know whom to cut out and what to do. When they was planning and plotting in the dark, they didn't realize that I was metamorphosing into the big cat. Let me tell you something. You need to understand how far you've grown. Anyhow, I'm just going to give you the remix of what happened. All I saw was my mother. I hugged her. And I told her I was grateful, because I truly believed that I would never see her alive again. And know this, big cat, it's the last time I will see my mother alive again. When I finished embracing my mother, I stood up and I saw the sister that's oldest, the one that comes just before me, sitting next to her with her daughters. And I said, sister, imagine, this is what they wanted us to come and see, but they wanted it to be our mother did. When I turned around, it's like I turned around in slow motion, you know, the Matrix. And there was the biggest, vilest, malignant narcissist sitting behind me with watery eyes, looking like she planted all the yam in her community as she dug a deep grave for my mother, as her and her son and my brother counted my mother's pentacles while she was squashed up on a 2-seat sofa. Thank you, darling. Yeah. What it was like? Boy. Karma, what kind of day is it today?
A good day.
It's a good day. A good day. Anyhow, as I turned around in slow motion and she sat there, I said, you are so wicked and evil. You did this. She jumped out of her chair, started saying that I'm evil, I'm wicked, right? And then she looked at me and said, I'm a demon. I thought, what? Hockey sticks are done. She wants tongue wrestling. Let's go. She moved like she was going to put her hand on me. I said, listen, I work out 6 days a week. She stopped where she was when I said that, because I looked her eye to eye. I was ready for her, mate. I was fully balanced on both legs, the way I taught you, darling dears. And my weight was about to drop low so that I'd come through the limb destructors. I kid you not when I tell you, I know how to protect myself under any circumstances. I made sure. I told her she loved to quote the Bible. This, the biggest sinner that has not changed one fig, malignant narcissist she be. Love to quote the Bible, so I led with the Isaiah 48:22. No rest for the wicked for what you did. You allowed my sister's eyes to close, even though she knew, and all of her progeny and everyone around that circle taking that Judas coin that has heavy karma on it, knew that my sister was in hospital since November. She started crying. Ran out of the house to go and hide under a big tree. The tree didn't know. I told you, the tree doesn't get struck by lightning. It didn't finish like that. She cried. Waited until another one from the pit came in, and they got together in their gaggle of bitches, Mitch bitches, right? But while she was out there crying, I was able to... One of the deepest pains was that I took her only daughter like mine, because every time she had a child, this wicked one, when the child got to the age of 2, they had to move out. Imagine that. At 2, you've got to go, blood. Get your bags. And she never had them back. Offloaded them at my mother's house. I know I'm telling you a big amount of tea, but work with me, big cat. Everything is a teaching moment. I told you I'm a pointer, and this is my purpose, to get you great by the sweat of your proverbial balls. She kept that daughter from me. It was like my child for the first 4 years of her life. People believed it was my child and thought I was lying when I said it was my niece. And I said this to her daughter. Her daughter was like, I'm being blamed for everything my mother's done. My children don't know their cousins. Blah, 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 blah. Crumb, 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 crumb. I also said, I saw what you wrote about me. Her eyes got shifty and unfocused. I got so many people together yesterday that I started to get a pain in the middle of my temple, right over my third eye, and it traveled down to my right retina. I told you, the one that the High Commander Decepticon damaged. After I said what I said, I wanted to spin away and go about my business, but I said, no, let them sit in what they did, because they can't say shit, and if they move, I'm ready for them. You see, I didn't have to use a lot of words, darling dears. My strength alone, confidence within myself. I covered myself with Ephesians 6:13 before I got into my chariot of righteousness. And I was able to dip up under her blood clot and let her know she's been caught and she's on the docket. Don't pass up the chance, if you get it, to go in there and spread the napalm, and make sure you speak in plain English or whatever is your dialect so they understand. I entered that place like God did send me there. Because you know what, that same sister that passed in September, when we was having the petrol crisis, I decided I needed to get to Peckham. There's a hair store there, but on the way, Spirit told me to pull over at her house. All the times I've been there, the door never opened. But on this day, one of the nephews was there. Listen, that's a whole nother side, but I don't care about them. Go away, back to the back. Anyway, right? He said my mother wasn't there, but my sister was there. Told me that she'd been in hospital for a few months. I said, can I come in? He said, yes. I went in there, took off my face mask. And he told me as I was coming in, she can't speak. She's lost the ability to speak. She was on a hospital bed in her front room. I took off my mask. And I said hello and I said her name. She looked at me and said, I love you. He said she couldn't speak. And every other word up to that point had been against me, who was her biggest and strongest warrior. She spoke to me, and I told her that I was so glad to see her. She remembered our childhood names. She was always Tralfaz. Gosh, I didn't expect it to touch me then. It did. But I'm not going to cry any tears. My name was Snoopy. She remembered that. She spoke to me. And I told her that day that I wouldn't see her again. And I left. I had my closure. And I made my peace with my sister before she passed yesterday. But I had to go back into that wickedness. The layers of dysfunction. The passive aggressive. The Chinese whispers that was afoot, darling dear. If I'd been a weak cat still at the beginning stages of my healing, I would have broken. I sat with myself a time this morning to dissect, unpack the intel that I got. I got closure. Not everybody gets it. So if you get the chance to go back and dip up under that dark one's blood clot, for their blood clot, redo it, darling dear. It's wonderful. Skin tightening. Hey, all of the above. Everything is a teaching lesson, big cat. I wouldn't tell you how great you could be if I was not doing that shiznai myself. As I heal and ascend, because we are all healing and at different stages, which I've told you many times. In order to be a leader, you had to be what? A student. And I am mastering both, darling dears, on a daily basis. As you are, big cat. This is why they was always plotting against you. You always had the inner light. You had the what? Ikigai. Japanese. For a reason, for living, for being. And they try to beat it out you with their dysfunction and their tabation. Well, guess what? They are what? Bound by the life that they have given unto themselves, darling dear. Know this. Their life will never get any better, and all they will attract is the same fucking blood as they try to rehash the bones of your past, the mistakes you've made amongst those they've told it to 1,000 times. Their energy is cursed and will be felt by anyone of the light that they encounter. Their life is small as you dare to live a life less ordinary, big cat. It wasn't easy because our fight was with our mind. I told you yesterday you fight a lot of time with the ghost that's gone. Thank you very much for your condolences, darling dear. But know this, I anticipated her passing. I knew it was going to come. And I haven't cried. I don't know if tears will come from this, because the tears I cried from the skullduggerous things that was done. They say you mustn't speak ill of the dead, but how can you not speak your truth? How could you not? I let all of those mother foes, they'll know that they can't fuck with me, and the level I be on, you can't touch this. And I let them know by my countenance and choice of verbiage that this is darkness, and I leave from here to the light. Co-created in the name of Father God Most High. I know that my progeny will never, ever live as I lived. I know that they are gifts, as I am a gift, as you are a gift to this Malkuth. We are sent, darling dears, to circumvent. Show people how to see the light, how to be the light, how to be abundant by going for the knowledge. And the hardest knowledge you will ever have to face on this Malkuth is the knowledge of thyself. Your birth natal chart, darling dears. Yes, you knew it was coming. I always slip it in. It's so important. So important. not to be what? Seen as what? Fodder. And it will look like Swahili written in Japanese backwards whilst on a bumpy bumper car ride. But it's put as a puzzle for only those that are not faint-hearted. For what? Favor. Favors the brave, darling dears, the brave. I would rather be brave than a bottom feeder any day of the week. I would rather walk alone than be confused amongst the confused. Thank you very, very much, Cherie Lee. I see everybody, darling dears. Who else did I miss? Let me scroll through. Listen, I think I'm coming out of the fugi. I think we're going off now. We're going to get into the planetary energies and then dive deep. I've got snaps. Listen, the fairies wicked. You saw me go for my pen, right? These fairies are gangster, blood. Listen. Then, oh. Who else was there? Cherie Lee. And I'm trying to, you see, that's the thing. When you've got the iPad, you're so used to scrolling the screen. So when you use the Mac, you go to scroll the screen, you rub the skin off your fingers, blood. You need a good mouse. Flower Child, thank you very much for your super chats. Most appreciated. Going straight in the Big Cat Chronicles, don't you know? Pinky's up. And, oh yeah. Yes, baby. I couldn't resist the chance for closure. My spirit would not have been quieted. I would have been a haunted woman. Who they think or thunk I was, darling dear. This is why I task you with what? You ever let a bottom feeder. And you know what a bottom feeder is? It's someone who eats from the bottom, used to being in that low vibe. It's just like what? You saying a fish is getting bored. A fish don't get bored, blood. They're doing exactly what they do. That's what a bottom feeder does, darling dear. You get the chance to work them over in the what? Cranium, intellectual kind of a what? Healing deep inner wounds. Wait, do it. But don't meet them by themselves, because I'm telling you, they are bitter in their wickedness, and they are quick to what? Take you out. Or try and what? Harm you. Not me, mate, because I told you, I've got 3 go-to moves and I work out. You think I'm doing the 100 squats a day? I had to do that so that I could recuperate my knee, so I can get back to my cardio and the squats. Listen, make sure you take care of your temple. It's a machine, and it will take you to what? Longevity. You'll outlive them all, big cat. Hey, hey! You'll outlive them all! Let's dive in, darling dears, to the planetary energies. Look what's going on. I've been a chatty cat. 23 minutes in. 23, a highly spiritual number. Also the energy of the 2 and the 5, darling dear. What's that? The Taurus, the Hierophant, God being present, seeking what? To assert your authority, your spiritual knowing. It also speaks about the 5, conflict, change, as well as competition, where you thought or thought there was none. They was always plotting against you, but you what? Dropped that big 5 on it. What's that? The change, darling dear. The change that is afoot. Right. Oh, we've got a full moon in Leo, darling dears. An opportunity to come into your personal power. Imagine that. Stepping up and stepping into a desired leadership role. Pardon me, that was a spiritual belch because I speaks the truth roof. Pinky's up, excuse me while I lubricate my larynx before Mercury tried to trip me up. Yes, baby, nice and hot. We also have Venus in Capricorn, conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. An intense, transformative combination, darling dear, that could bring obsession with money, but also somebody will be getting the XCX pleasure. Bitch, let me tell you something. Do what you want with your platinum, your fanani and fatum during Mercury retrograde. I just said I'm going to point it out. You fill in whatever blank you feel is necessary for you. Right. Venus in Capricorn ends her retrograde journey that began on the 19th of December. The pre-shadow period commenced in November, and the past shadow period, right, will last until March the 3rd. During this time, Venus will recover from the mess that began last month. What happened for us last month? I know what happened for me. The High Commander Decepticon tried to infect us all with that big sea blood. Ruined my son's 18th, but let's not digress. What was your catastrophe last month? Well, Venus was being a bit effed up, darling dear. But Venus is feeling much better now. Hey, thank God! Push, clap! Yeah, she's feeling much better now. It was all having your self-worth, wanting to stand in your authority, wondering what you were growing, what you was fostering, what you was focused on, was really going to come to what flourish meant. Yes. Venus wasn't feeling quite herself. During this time, Venus will recover from the mess. Yes, we know this. This means that we can feel an energetic shift for the better, darling dears, that relieves financial and relationships tensions. Listen, I can't make it up. I told you, everything is a teaching moment. Right, where was I? The caveat is that until Venus clears its shadow, there will still be a lot of things left to deal with. Basically, the story ain't over, blood. There's still shadow work to be done. There's still what? Hills to climb, but you are going uphill, darling dears. There's a big difference between going up and coming down. What they forgot or didn't realize, that you will be meeting them on your way up. And remember how they helped you down and tried to keep you there with the fucking knees and the bull swanky and subterfuge. Yes, all of this and that. Venus ends her retrograde. We'll be able to gain more clarity about how we invest our money and how to deal with relationship issues in the future. It will take a while for us to overcome the upheaval that occurred over the past 40 days, just like Jesus. In the darkness, darling dear. Giving all our situations improvements, realizing that you can thrive under any conditions once you love thyself, once you trust in the Most High with faith the size of a mustard seed. You've seen how small that is, darling dear. And learning to what? Move in silence, blood, pack it in, put a soak in it. Don't give up now, big cat. Not when breakthrough is afoot. Not when the abundance of the universe is about to what? Turn your way, as all the planets go direct. Between the 3rd of February and the 19th of April, when you've got to get down and dirty with it. I'm telling you, get your creative skills out there. I told you, $2.3 trillion on the tableau between now and 2026. This little window between the 3rd of February and the 19th of April is your time to get your quality work out there. Get online. We've gone from bricks and mortar to click and order. Remember that, big cat? And you have a spiritual gift. And you have to get it out there. Otherwise, your mission is not complete. And you will have to come back for another cycle. And you may not have all the faculties that you have on your body. You will lose something every time you have to come back. And I'm not coming back with your blood. This is why you see me on a daily basis. Saying, I did tell you. I'm pointing this way. Don't look back. Yes, I tell you this. You think I'm getting up? It's my ikigai. I didn't have what you are gifted with today. Somebody who's been through it and not afraid of showing you what truly happened in order for you to understand you can get out of any situation. Nothing like having a prayer and a plan, darling dear. A silent plan. What you must also take to heart, darling dear, is that what? The journey is almost over. As the Big Cat Chronicles continues, done with the tete-a-tete. I'm going to sip my mocha and dive right in. Rest in peace, baby sister. Rest in peace. Big cat, they have to put respect on your name, darling dears. Those that are always plotting against you. Why you come with the 5 I told you? Change, darling dear. You come with the change. They are lighting candles to try and take you off your gangster, trying to wish you into what wickedness. How now, brown cow, when you've been chosen, the chosen one, to lead with the light. Lead by example. And what? You're shapely back, darling dear. Law 16 of the 48 laws of power. You have to understand, right, darling dears? People with low self-esteem, or about 80%, are more likely to always be critiquing others, so you don't notice their fallacies and F-shit, and the fact that they are perpetrators of the gingivitis, airbenders, jelly bogeli, all of the above. What they did not expect from the emotional pain they knowingly caused you, big cat. They did not, expect that you would reconfigure your mind. I know. You recreated your mind, darling dear, from what you dared to believe was unreal. Dramatic changes have been afoot in your life, big cat. You now know that what's out there is not just a movie screen. We are not just on the hamster wheel of eat, sleep, and repeat, entertain. It's more to it. You no longer wish to be hypnotized by those that know what's going on. As you tap into the planetary energies and boss up. Somebody's ringing my bell. Please listen. Everything's a sign, darling dear. You understand to your core what surrounds you is anything you can imagine. And what surrounds you is everything you can imagine. You're understanding why you were set apart and had to walk alone. You have to walk alone as a light worker star seed because you need that time to know thyself. You have to be able to see through the matrix who is being controlled. See those narcissists, those high commanded Decepticons, sociopaths, psychopaths they be. You have to recognize their signatures, their energy signatures. You are the eyes for those that cannot see, and not everybody will find you to be their cup of tea. Why? Because you're not a mug blood. You're more of a mocha girl or boy. Pinkies up. Bushido Reedy is where you're going to, darling dears. Be blessed and rise as only the big cat can. They couldn't walk in your shoes, darling dear, and they couldn't come with you where you're going. Because you bad in them streets, divine feminine. I can't make it up. Lady goddess. This. What's the matter, darling dear? Who is it? Karma? Who's at the door? Okay. Yes, baby. The birth, the rise of the big cat, divine feminine. The birth of the new you. A full harvest moon at your back, darling dear. The pink embodies what? The red and the white. Light. The unconscious. New beginnings for you. Why? Because you are birthed whole. Made whole at the feet of Father God Most High, as you called in Ephesians 6:13. Psalms 91. Psalms 121. You called it, darling dear. And you led with forgiveness. This is why you are gifted with the rebirth. The epiphanies are what popping off, darling dear. And I'm saying to you, elementary, my dear big cat. You the baddest cat out there. IBEX you be. You had to be the stripper cat. And all had to go. You was like everybody, even Timmy. Yes, especially Timmy. Timmy's a backstabber. Did I frighten you? Yes. Well, good. Why are you falling asleep while we're having a little chat? Base of the deck, because you are protected, darling dears. I told you, where you walk, step into the room, shoulders back, chin up. God sent you. You read energy, darling dears. And you understand certain situations is not for you. You understand. But sometimes, I'm not a fan of time traveling, but I will turn back just for the last chance to dip up on somebody's blood clot to realize that Father God sent me to tell you, bitch, you ain't gonna get no rest for your wicked deeds. You're protected. And guess who's got the power? You do. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, darling. This is why you smirk. When they what? Try their baddest to what? Muddy your name in them streets. The merchants of slander, always on the balls of their feet to do wickedness. I told you, they're hashing over F shit from the past. The person that you are no longer. They don't have your psychological password. Some of them don't even have your domicile address. You have all the power, darling dears. And as part of the Bushido reading, number 4 is respect, darling. You respect that you hold the whip. Why engage in a battle when you've already won the war? Your hairline blood, your edges, your peace. That can't be bought or bartered. They're going through it, mate, at each other's necks. All while you're what? Getting great, ascending. One day at a time. They all said you'll be back. And you were saying, speak, Lord, speak to me. Speak, Lord. Yes! This and that. Imagine that. Told you if I had girls, I'd be clutching them bitches with you. Eyes on everyone. Come through Boosie Badass. Because what? There's liars, thieves, cheaters, swindlers, back front neck tabbers, and frenemies. Haters with the bad vibes, the bad luck, and they're a user. And you are equipped, what? With the what? Your badge as the coach of the red flag team. No one on this Malkuth will ever do you that again, whatever that cut to the white meat was, whatever made you say, this is all I can stand and I can't stand no more. Yes. Sounded like Popeye. And you took your spiritual spinach blood. Yes, baby. All of this and that. Let's get a rune on the table and then we'll push on. Because we're at the 39. Why didn't you stop me? I told you I'm a chatty cat. Elizabeth Williams, glad you could pop in, darling dear. And we've got the daily inspirational tea with enlightened Gem 333. Hello. Don't trust no one, blood. Don't trust no one. It's dangerous with a big cat. You must examine them from all levels. Third eye, 2 eye, birth natal chart. what other people are saying about them. I'm not saying you must lead on someone else's understanding, but if 100 people are saying the same shit, you better back it up and keep it moving, big cat. You haven't got time to unpack with them, because guess what? They'll put you in a coffin where you'll be looking at the crack of their ass for all eternity. And you'll do that alone, blood. Me can't come with you. I'm very busy, booked and busy. Yes, isolation, darling dear. I can't make it up, the hermit, the Virgo energy of it all. This is Isa. This talks about a challenge that was extremely frustrating, one that caused psychological blocks in your life, made you feel sticked and stuck it, represented by the letters KIC, the numbers 36, 37, 38, and 39. Isolating yourself from bottom feeding ways, blood. You had to turn your shapely back, call on the whole armor of God as the spiritual light was shone on you, darling dear, the DNS. What's that? The dark night of the soul, blood. I don't even like to talk about it too loud, cause it's not catching me, mate. I'm swift, just like Nike. Right, as I was saying before I interrupted myself with a sidebar, the hermit energy of it all, Virgo, darling dears. You've become the what? The Range Rover when they're still on a Mini Cooper. Good golly and gosh. This also speaks about the solitude that you sought, darling dear. You worked on your lower self. You became a loner. Self-examination, self-improvement. They didn't realize that you was what? The 21st century cat. You didn't go there or going back into a situation to get anything from them. You go there to give them what? One last dip up under them blood clot. Hey, as you skip merrily on your way. Let them know that the karma that they're going to get. Sometimes some need to be told. Anyway, moving on. Standing alone, walking alone. Why? Betrayal, darling dear. Matthew 10:14, dusting off thy sandals and heading out. Tinky winky styly. And while you was out there, you got to the bag. A lovely golden bag. Creating generational wealth, having broken generational curses. You are on a spiritual path, one that is filled of vigilance, darling dear. Your inner strength came through study of what? Psychosis, blood. I told you are keyboard gangsters. You had to find out what was going on that crazy making hamster wheel of skullduggery and subterfuge. Yes, this and that and this. As I sip my mocha, because I ain't getting smoked, blood. Listen. I felt very tired when I woke up this morning. But it was the what? The cleansing of a deep inner wound. Nothing like it, darling dear. It feels lovely. It feels like I'm floating. It also feels like, you know, when you've held your breath for a certain amount of time and you release it. Yes. Undoing programs that was forced onto you, darling dear, forced you to be a hustler. Proverbs 12:24, the baddest cat out there. As you remember the backstabber, Luke 22:48. The otherworthian, still in the pet cemetery, living the life that they co-created, as karma sits at their every meal. Nothing like a conscience and being told exactly what you did and what you can't do a damn thing about it. You have to live within your ministrations of evil. I'm telling you. Pardon me, darling dears, that was a spiritual belch, because I speaks the truth roof. Pinkies up. Let's get some tarot on the table. Because you are protected, darling dears. You have all of the power. Know this. And anything you write down between the 3rd of February and the 19th of April, and burn it, darling dear. Collect the ashes and bury them at a root of a tree. Will come. But not if you're a karmic, darling dear. You've got too much crosses on you, right? And certain shit you've got to serve out before you're blessed. And until you go and look at your shadow side, really look at your shadow side, you're stuck in your Maya. So if you're watching here, F off, right? And work for your shadow work. I can't can't make it up. Yes. The airbenders. Get back on your broom and go back to Hades. Right? Look. Just cleared out their energy. Go away. You're weird. And you're Spain. And you've been caught. Get away. Return to sender, darling. It feels like a mother's milk on my lips. Yes, yes. Return to sender. Right, let's get some cards. No, it says to use this and talk off of this. Okay, I'm going to get 3. They've got to respect you for the divine feminine big cat that you are. Absence is one thing that breeds respect, but when you come back and you walk as though God told you to enter that space, hey, and you realize what you left behind and you was crying over that, ha ha, you better go and smack yourself across the face just for old time's sake. Free cards, please. Yes. Mastering your mind, darling, here. Your mind. Your infinite mind. And tapping into your true spiritual gifts. And making it into a business. Using the 2nd, the 6th, and the 10th house. Yes, baby. Rejection was God's protection. You didn't know it at the time. This is how they had you confused with the fucking blood, Chinese whispers, giving you one face, and that face was see-through and fugazi, darling dear. When you had 2 windows to go through, they blocked all of your ideas. Rejection is Father God, Mother Isis, protecting you. Because you've got bigger things to do. On your uphill battle, you are winning. And what you began must surely end. What's this? Yeah. The ungrateful rejected the big cat. They did. They didn't see the abundance. He was pregnant with everything, darling dear. Do you not see the dignity? Do you not see the red for the root chakra? Solid, stable foundations. They were so ungrateful. I know. Cleo did that. Now my tongue, Mercury retrograde and karmic. Are you still here? What's the matter with you? Haven't you got someone else's life to go and fuck up? We're busy. The ungrateful rejected you. They didn't realize that you was the light and you was sent to lead them to live a better life, one that was filled with life purpose. They laughed then. They're crying forever. Trust and believe me. They will cry forever as they read your books, as they watch your TV programs, as they watch your social media platform, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Patreon, wherever you are getting your works out there. They will what? Have to click on your Amazon store. They're going to see it. All of your shiznai everywhere. And they will be what? Beaten with your accolades and achievements. Or when it goes quiet, another flying monkey will pop up to remind them of how great you were and how little they are and how little their life is and that there is no comeback. They don't want me to talk. Attacking my throat chakra. They don't want me to talk this truth. I told you, what's the matter with them? They need to go back and watch at least. Let's work it out. But if they have that, so it's got to be this. They've got to go back and watch about this much of my videos. Okay. You wondered why I had the calculator. I had to work out a few things. Yes, baby. Then don't want me for talk the ungrateful ones that rejected you. Made you feel that you was being kicked out of a castle when, my God, it was a mud hut full of malignant narcissists living a bottom feeding life. They couldn't even dare to be what you do without even taking a breath, darling dear. And don't let me talk about how pretty you are. Yeah, gorgeous. You're gorgeous. Fabulous, gorgeous, and lovely. What else do you need to know? This one didn't. Oh, they're talking about your spirituality. They're saying that you did spell work. Some of them tried to cast spell work on you, and it has been rejected because it was sent by the ungrateful. Right, we're going straight into these peccadillos. They're lying on you, saying that you did spell work. They're calling you a witch. I've been called worse things, blood. And they can't call me that now. I told you, it's rich white woman season. Not only in Malkuth, but also in Kiefer. There's a civil court in every land. Say what you want, but you better not say it on tape, blood, because I'll be just on. Right? They are, you must remember, they are nothing but what? T-Rex arms, blood. T-Rex arms. That means they don't have the hands to hold you. All they can do is bite, chomp, the carnivorous, right? Bottom feeder, left behind, rejected by life. And you, as you continue to make things come to you. Why? Because you're working on yourself. You understand you are a masterpiece in the making. And a watched pot never boils. Right, let me get some tarot to put on the table. I'm not going to use the gold ones, even though they are pulling me Scotty. Give something else a chance. Base of the deck, moon energy. You was dealing with bad energy, liars, a frenemy. You intuitively knew that you was in the wrong circumstance. While you was there, you was feeding the wrong of the two wolves, darling dear. The one that got you toxic. I told you, when you're around the toxic and the dysfunctional, you pick up their traits. Whether you like to hear it or not, it's the truth, roof. Pinky's up. This is the moon, as well as Pisces and Cancer energy, darling dears. Base of the deck. You have those badass alchemist ways. You are able to co-create whatever you want. Why? Intuitively guided to lean into the rejection. And know that it was not about you, it was for you. Blessing in every situation. Thank God the Most High. All day, always. They're watching you be curious. Some of you are studious. They're watching you go into your studies, darling. They're putting together, training tutorials? You're going into so many different fields as you fly high. Why? Because you lead with the confidence. Look at all of that lovely, lovely yellow. All of these downloads that you're getting, make sure you put pen to paper and you put your back into it. I told you, we have all the planets blessing us from the 3rd of February until the 19th of April. Time is afoot. I'm such a chatty cat. And they're watching and spying. The rejected ones, what are they looking at? They're being blinded by your coin and your loyalty, right? The loyalty that was put in the place where there was so much disloyalty. Can I shuffle the deck now? Thank you. Good God and gosh. Didn't like when the cards push me around. If you receive a letter from them, don't open the letter. Magic spell work has been used on the letter. It wants your DNA to touch it. Don't open the letter. Put it in the bin. Burn it and send it back. Don't open the letter. Right? If you open that letter that they send you, it could be an email. If it's an email, don't open that bitch. I mean, obviously, if they come with an assumed name, but no. I told you their ego is their amigo. You'll know it's them. Delete that shit. It has spell work on it, darling dears. Don't be fooled. They're coming from the bottom of the pit, the mud hut at 911 Freddy Krueger Avenue, and they want you to be stagnant and stuck in temporary toxic situations. They want you to be in the same ghetto Groundhog Day. That is their karma. Don't open any letter. They want to rock your foundation. Some of you are going to be kicking your way into entrepreneurialism, and you're going to be winning because you see things from a different perspective. You're no longer imprisoned by your childhood inner wounds. Why? Destiny and fate put you in a place to heal them. Recognize that you can be free at any time you want. Don't open any form of messages from these people. Dark spell work will be used. We saw the candles, darling dear. We saw this new beginning. You have been gifted with what? Another do-si-do on this Malkuth. All in their face. I told you I didn't get my second wind until I was 50. I now be 54, living a whole 9 year, the year of the hermit. Isolation, improvement, spiritual awareness. What do we want? We want to know about this spell work, right? Why are they so intent on trying to stop a big cat walking? Because they abused the power. The power you gave them, your psychological password. They abused whatever you brought to that particular table. This is nobody's brother. This is nobody's sister. They was nasty to their core. Narcissist, High Commander, Decepticon is their name. Pennywise is their father. Littlefinger is their mother. Look! Seven of Swords on its face, return to sender, darling dears. What they want to affect you in your cranium and in your stability. They're going to try and cast aspersion on your new business. They don't like the new coin that's coming towards you. While they're in their crib on their face, darling dear. You're living life like it's golden. Your loyalty can't be bought and bartered. They can't understand why you're winning. And they're watching Page of Swords. Bitter, twisted, lying, spying, all of the above, darling dear. They haven't, this is what I'm saying, they don't even change up their MO. It's so dodo dead. And they're morsels. Base of the deck, Seven of Swords, darling dears. This also speaks about what? It's like they're closing down. They're wanting some kind of a clean slate. I told you, the swords as well is also communication. The communication that they're going to send through to you has spell work on it. And it wants to put you into a situation where you'll be stuck. Two of Wands. They don't like the way that you've manifested. They can't understand that how comes you are still going on, because they put you or left you in a position where you were supposed to be ungrateful and mad at God. They wanted you to be mad at God. Ha ha, are you mad? God? Are you kidding me? The Alpha and Omega, right? And you what? You've got justice on your side in the upright, blessed and highly favored. Take them to court, darling dear, if you hear of the slander. I told you, rich white lady season, the Pentacles will turn up for that habeas corpus. Nine of Swords. Told you what they wanted to for you. They are worried, they are anxious, they can't sleep at night. Isaiah 48:22. They always plotted against you, divine feminine. Never you doubt it or even thunk on it again. Your journey has ended with them because they can't come with you. They can't come back and say they're sorry, and don't take any form of communications from them, whether by snail mail, the internet, or by a flying monkey. It comes with wickedness, spell work to beguile you and take you off your chosen path. Look, hermit energy again. The duality of it all, darling dears. You're sitting pretty. You're so fabulous you could float. Yes, you'll levitate. Because you washed your face like David, Five of Swords. They was in your head, not anymore, mate. What they wanted for you is on them. All they can do is think about you, how you handled them, how you're handling your situation, how you've turned your life around. You don't react, you respond. Nothing like what? A big rebirth and recreation of yourself, divine feminine. Law 25 of the 48 laws of power. In your face, suckers. When I went into that domicile yesterday, I went in there, right? They must have thought I was going to be friendly, but I went to work as a spy. And everything that I found out was exactly as what I thought it would be. The hated amongst the hated. all at each other, fighting over cursed money. Imagine that. 255 in the chat. Namaste, big cats. If you're enjoying this read, please hit the thumbs up button, like, subscribe, and share, because I am a sneaky cat. I told you this. There's no schedule. I like to turn up on you cats to make sure everything is copacetic and that you're still fabulous, gorgeous, and lovely. Can't announce. Right, let's get some more intel before we push off, because we're already at the 60 mark. Where does the time go? They always pull out. Listen, look, cards. Warning you. Well, I don't know what I'm warning them for, because they're going to do what they like. Oh! Energy vampires. Prakala and Prakalisha is their name. You'll notice the low vibe you feel around them. I told you, they worked on my third eye. And they're fake, darling dear, to the core, just like a £9 note. They're fake, right? Venus in the upright at your back. This is a time for you to be what? Sociable, because encounters and events that play on your affections or play with your affections or activate your affections are afoot. I told you many of you are going into a divine union, but only after the 3rd of February. Why? Because that's when Mercury retrograde is out of its shadow and it's good, mate. And you can just do what you've got to do to get great. Gangster mode. And it also says a significant moment in a personal relation. Yes. An artistic expression. I told you, 2.3 trillion. Lord Jesus. Allow my tongue, Mercury retrograde. Right? $2.3 trillion on the tableau. Get in your creative mode. There was nothing but an emotional drain in your life. There was a taker of everything. The Dark Vader, bringer of the darkness, and a scourge. Some of you are feeling drained because you have an energy vampire. Somebody's still connected to you. You need to do another cord cutting. That it would have been lovely to have done it yesterday, Venus Friday. Or you could wait until Friday and do it again. Psalms 91, Psalms 121. 2 tea light candles in front of your bath. Get in the bath. You don't wash yourself in that water. You're clean before you get in that water. Because the element of the water, darling dear, is the closest to the spirit world, where your words are heard. Use the energy of the water, darling dear. Read Psalms 91, Psalms 121, as well as what? Proverbs 10. Proverbs 31:10. You step back out of the bath between the lighted candles and let them burn out. You know what I would like to see on World Star? People, karmics, trying to what? Invoke the protection of the universe when they haven't worked on. They need to put that shit on World Star, mate. Yes. What's this? Neptune energy. Something unusual, out of the ordinary is going to occur. A strange vibe, right? Something that's a bit on, having a bit of an undercurrent. You can feel it in the air. In traction mode, as well as revelations, darling dear. Revelations. Is it Revelations 2:20? I don't know. Because them chicken heads, they do get around, blood. Them get around. Hangman. Seeing something from a different perspective. It also speaks about someone being imprisoned by you. They are being emotionally drained even as we speak, as they realize all that glitter is not gold. They are living on the astroturf of it all. Let them stay there. Don't you bring a bottom feeder with you, darling dear. They will drag you down and give you the bad luck. And it's so 2020. What else about this? All that glitters is not gold. Right? Aries energy in the reverse. Right? So I am this person in the reverse. It means what? This person is codependent. They are not assertive. Right? They are reckless, impulsive, impatient, combative, and stubborn. Shiver me timbers. And outside the perimeter, don't you know? Aries, the first house. This person is what? Their ego is their amigo, darling dear, and their ego will bring them to a nasty end. Being surrounded by what? Like-minded souls. Nothing like to be found in the mire and realize that everybody is as fucked over as you. And all of you are blind. In the land of the blind. I know! Let them go through it! Never you forget, Big Cat. You attack your Shiznai E from the 3rd of February. You're going to be going it like a skater. Yes! You put your back into it. Do your dirtiest and deadliest tinky winky. Get that knowledge. Fine tune your skills. Become the baddest cat in your field. As you will continue to be what? Blessed in their face. Because divine has given you the 2020. You know what's going on. Right? Look! Divine masculine. Can you see it? Told you. Spiritual union coming for you. Look what's here. North Node. As well as jackpot. Some of you are gamblers in life. You're about to get what? A little come up. Whatever you're working towards, darling dear, you're doing it in a kind of a North Node kind of a way. Right? Being guided. You need to what? Recognize your position, darling dear. Big Cat is always head of the pack. Otherwise, who they gonna know is the leader? If they're not looking at your crack. Yes, baby. If they ain't looking at your crack, how will they know that you're the leader? Right? Be fluid and reactive to change, darling dear. Be appreciative of change. Change is good. We love change. Jackpot. Right. Let's go to the FP555 Oracle Intel deck and then I'm out of here. What's this? Your badass alchemist ways, darling dear. You have what it takes, being gifted with all of the tools to co-create whatever you want. It also speaks about travel as well as a new partner. You may be going into what? Union with a spiritual mage, darling dear. Why? The Matthew 10:14 of it all. I told you, dust off your sandals and head out. Head out, darling dear. Right? Because you are being guided by your ancestral team 2 times, 2 different decks. Right? What's this? Mitch can't kill your vibe. You can feel the energy from 2 planets away, and it's 2 of these and 1 of those. And dear God, make them stay away. Your time to breathe. Some of you are what? Learning to medicate. Not medicate, you better not be. This is not the time for cognitive dissonance. Put down the cup. This is the time to meditate. Breathe, darling dear. Always take a breath before you answer. It's best to what? Take the time. Be like Buddha. Be quick to listen, slow to speak. Breathe, darling dear, because you are on the edge of greatness. Greatness born from hardship, darling dear. They thought you was out for the count when you was only sleeping and getting ready for the long haul. The number 33, the same as Jesus and Bob Marley, I might add. Pinkies up. 33 in the 48 laws of power says what? Know your opponent. You know them. And it's what? A pamphlet. Back, front, neck stabbers they were, darling dear, and will always be. And what does the stabbers get? They get tabbed, mate. They get tabbed. Nothing like living in the ghetto Groundhog Day, knowing that you're meant to be what? A bottom feeder. But you've got what? Big sharp ideas and don't know how to get there. Darling dears, they're living in what they created, right? Continue with your Easter Island and Stevie Wonder, right? Boundaries, blood. Boundaries, as they're being whipped about by Saturn, no less. Coming through with what? The structure and responsibility of it all. Walking agent of karma. Fist bump. 243 in the chat. Thank you very much for joining me for this read, darling dear, as we had so much to unpack. And as I always say, don't get smoked. Divine feminine. Don't smoke yourself. You are what? Obstreperous, noisy, and hard to handle, especially by those that come with what? The back front neck tapping ways. The ones that are really what? A Judas in a Peter suit. Let them live with the smoke, darling dears, as you continue to trot at a hot trot toward your infinite possibilities, knowing that everything you can conceive can be achieved when you what? Focus. Realize that you are the center of your world. You are your biggest fan, and only you can take yourself through the finish line in the name of the Most High, Father God. Continue to sock it to them, big cat. Why not? In silence, I might add. From the ashes, baby. Namaste, cat, cat. Cat, cat. Run, big cat.